This is wild, as we are going to hear from Jared Verse as he discusses his intense, psychotic workout with Aaron Donald a few weeks ago. We are also talking about some key highlights and another day of training camp, all on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Press that subscribe button now, as roughly 65.7% of you guys are watching the videos already, but you're still not subscribed to the channel. All I'm saying is, if you're already watching, might as well press that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. Both Joshua Feinhersh and I are very excited to get really close to 4,000 subscribers. I think like 90 or so subscribers left to get to 4,000. So if you guys can do us a favor, hit that subscribe button so we can reach our goal of 4,000. Of course, we're going to have another goal after that and continue to keep growing the Rams Digest channel. Appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed already. First things first, on today's episode, we're talking about something that's never gonna happen again. And when we're talking about what's never gonna happen again, we may be talking about Jared Verse working out with Aaron Donald. As Stu Jackson, senior staff writer for the Rams, says, though Aaron Donald's workout was psychotic, it instilled a valuable mindset in Jared Verse. And so I think that's definitely a key here. Obviously, jokingly, positively joking about how intense the workout was with Aaron Donald. I think Jared Verse kind of was awoken by that a little bit, saying, oh, shoot, this guy's retired from the NFL, and I can't keep up with him with his workouts. Obviously, arguably the greatest defender of all time in all of NFL history. If he can do certain things, right, in terms of working out in the gym, whether it's strength, conditioning, all that good stuff, then maybe Jared Verse needs to do that as well to be that great as well. Is Jared Verse going to be Aaron Donald one day? Well, he's still super young, right? We don't know what he's going to become ultimately. It's very tough to live up to what Aaron Donald did, but ultimately that'd be a great goal for, I think, Jared Verse to strive for, right? If you're talking about striving for greatness, I mean, not much greater of players out there to follow than Aaron Donald. So here Jared Verse is saying, that workout was psychotic. I'm never doing that again. The one thing he kept saying throughout the whole workout that he doesn't really show too much in the video was, think of the fourth quarter. Everyone's good, the first, second, and third. But what about the fourth? That's where you make your money. He's saying it loud and proud. He was talking like me. I was like, damn, okay, I guess there's levels to this. And I think that is kind of key, right? Sometimes we're talking about this stuff and these little stories on the side can kind of be like almost like fluff pieces, like, whatever, cool. You know, they had a funny moment and Aaron Donald coached them up a little bit, but Jared Verse knows how to work hard. I think that's very key here. The Rams are very lucky and fortunate that Aaron Donald, of course, being a Rams legend, NFL legend in general, but being a Rams legend, obviously very, very much seems to care about the future of the Rams. He seems like a lifelong Rams fan at this point in time, right? So if Aaron Donald really cares, truly cares about the future of the Rams, the future of some of these young guys on this roster, him doing things like this, instilling this kind of intensity, especially working with a guy like Jared Verse, who's already such an intense guy in his own right, to show him, hey, yes, you can be intense, you can be loud, you can have fun, you can work hard, but you're not going to work this hard. And if you want to be as great as I was, you have to work this hard. And Jared Verse is coming out and saying, we saw how good Jared Verse was, right? We saw, if you're that level of a great NFL player, if you're that level of a young talent in the NFL, you obviously work very, very hard to get to that point. And as hard as he works, he's still not living up to what Aaron Donald does in his retirement workouts, right? And so I think that's kind of really could be really inspiring to a guy like Jared Verse. And if he does strive to get to that level, I think that's something that could be incredible for his career, for his own personal growth. And hey, if he's continuing to do that as of the past workout he had a few weeks ago and starts to at least strive for that level of conditioning and strength conditioning, all that good stuff, of working out to that level, that training to that level, if he can do that for the last couple weeks and continue doing it throughout the regular season, he may have a career year already, obviously just in his second year here, but he could obviously show some great improvements if he works as hard as a guy like Aaron Donald does. So that's the goal. That's the hope here. Obviously, as Rams fans, we want Jared Verse to be as great as he possibly can be. Already one of the greater young talents in the NFL. Can he be one of the greatest of all time? I mean, that'd be pretty nice for the Rams organization to have another one of those on their hands, which, hey, he's not too far off from that, right? Other than that, we're going to get into some training camp updates. Obviously, we are dealing with training camp going on right now currently, so want to make sure we continue to update you guys on all the important key notes here. Going into the shout out to the Rams Wire for posting some of these updates here. This one comes to us from the RotoWire staff, actually, and they're talking about Matthew Stafford. He's in line to practice Monday. I talked about it last time I was here on the channel, discussing Matthew Stafford not practicing right now, dealing with a back issue. He looks like he's going to be back on Monday. We talked about it last time, right? Not really. Doesn't seem like too much of a big deal right now at this point in time, so not too much of a concern. It's good to know that he's already going to be back Monday, not missing that much time of training camp. So Stafford back is expected to participate in the Rams' first padded practice of training camp Monday, according to Sarah Barshop of ESPN.com. Stafford reported to training camp earlier this week with a sore back, which has resulted in him working inside with team trainers. In the meantime, obviously then talking about his, the excitement of him possibly working with Adams and Puka Nacua this upcoming season. But overall, very exciting to see Matthew Stafford. He's going to take the field as of Monday in the Rams' first padded practice. I think it's a great time for him to come out, kind of get his work in. Obviously, with the pads on, something that a veteran like him could definitely take advantage of at this point in his career. So excited to see Matthew Stafford out there sooner rather than later. We talked about last episode, right? Maybe he's going to make some plays, I think, already to guys like Davante Adams and Puka Nacua. And then a couple other notes here. Emmanuel Forbes, he actually gets some first team reps. Now, you see this video here, he's hugging Davante Adams. It was a very light, no pads. In this specific clip, he wasn't even really guarding Davante Adams. They were actually walking through their routes, walking through what they do, what the movements they're going to make on offense and defense. So they weren't really getting too crazy, but Forbes was out there with the first team defense getting reps across from Davante Adams. So, I mean, when you really think about that and put that into perspective, right? They have him running with the first team, which is one, obviously, huge note. But two, guarding Davante Adams. Obviously, Puka and Davante are both incredible players. Some could argue he's guarding a receiver one. Maybe he's guarding the receiver two. Either way, he's guarding a great player in Davante Adams. So the coaching staff trusting him in the first team already, showing that they want to try him out there, see what he's looking like, see if he can kind of get to that level. And obviously, again, they're walking through right now. It's nothing too crazy. But two, him locking in across from Davante Adams. Positive, a slight little positive note. We're not going to go ahead and run away with it and say that Emmanuel Forbes is their next starter, but interesting to take note of for sure. And then moving on from that, this one kind of surprised me a little bit, but Alaric Jackson, he's taking part in team drills. This is today, July 25th, 2025. Jackson is dealing with blood clots and has been doing individual work in practice, but he's participating in team drills today. So, of course, we are hoping first and foremost his own personal health is definitely top priority here. But if the team, the training staff, he himself, everyone involved feels comfortable enough for a guy who's dealing with a serious injury like this with blood clots to be out there already, even though he's going light and, just kind of going through the walkthroughs of practice. I think this is a very important positive note on the Alaric Jackson timeline. Thought could be a few weeks before he's ever even considering playing again, and now you see him practicing already in team drills. Again, nothing full speed, nothing too crazy, but intriguing to see nonetheless. Maybe Alaric Jackson will be ready sooner than later. Again, hope he's considering his health first and foremost. I'm sure the team is definitely taking that into heavy consideration first, but obviously very, very positive sign to see him out there. That does it for the team updates. Moving on from that, we are talking about this, last but not least, trivia of the day. My favorite part of the episode, where I ask a trivia question. You give your trivia guesses down below in the comments section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we give a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Last episode's trivia of the day, we asked this question here. Which tight end has the most consecutive career receiving touchdowns? The most career receiving touchdowns. I don't know why I added consecutive. Sometimes I just be not reading and just making up words as I go look for things on the side here. But which tight end has the most career receiving touchdowns of these four options? And there were some pretty great options in the multiple choice options we gave you guys. Was it A, Rob Gronkowski? Was it B, Antonio Gates? Was it C, Tony Gonzalez? Or was it D, Travis Kelce? Which of those four tight ends had the most career receiving touchdowns. A few of you guys play along at home. Always appreciate you guys for playing with the trivia of the day. It takes me a second to put these together, so I definitely appreciate you guys participating. George says, my guess is A, Rob Gronkowski. We had the Real J. Will saying, I would go with Tony Gonzalez just because you may have slipped up when you said his name out of turn. If that's wrong, I can't trust you anymore. The Real J. Will, maybe I just misspoke and made a mistake. We'll have to wait and see on that. I see you, though, trying to overanalyze me over here. I see you guys. Benny says Tony Gonzalez. We have Floyd saying Gates. We had T1 Porter saying Tony Gonzalez. We had Blake saying Tigo. We had said thanks for shouting out the blind guy still over Rams from a fan in St. Louis. Definitely appreciate you for always commenting, playing with the trivia of the day. I'm always going to shout you out. Appreciate you for playing with the trivia of the day all the way from St. Louis. I've never been to St. Louis, by the way. Definitely a place I want to go check out one of these days. Glider says Tony Gonzalez. Thomas says, I'm really excited to see what Whittington can do this year. And my guess is Antonio Gates. Excited for Whittington as well. Myself, Thomas. So, couple guesses for Tony Gonzalez. Couple guesses here for Antonio Gates, it looks like. And I think that's it. Maybe a guess for Rob Gronkowski as well. So, the correct answer for which of those four tight ends had the most career touchdowns was Antonio Gates. B was a correct answer. Special shout out, especially to Thomas for getting that correct, as well as Floyd. Both of you guys got that one correct. Everybody else, hey, shout out to all of you guys. Appreciate you for playing along. Real J. Will, sorry you can't trust me anymore. I made a mistake. I apologize. I think I just thought I was trying to not look at. I have multiple choice written out and everything, and I was just thinking about Tony Gonzalez. Said him first, and decided to go back and just say them all in order again. I don't know, just something weird I did while I was recording that. But appreciate all of you guys for playing along again. Shout out to Thomas, shout out to Floyd. You guys got Antonio Gates correct. Kind of a surprising one to me because I love Antonio Gates. Think he's a great player. Obviously one of the greatest tight ends of all time. I just didn't know he had that many more touchdowns than Rob Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez, and Travis Kelce. I thought those guys are kind of talked about as the greatest of all time. Antonio Gates gets forgotten sometimes in that conversation, but 111, I think, career touchdowns. Pretty incredible and pretty impressive for Antonio Gates. If you want to shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest, just like these folks got on the next episode, go ahead and play along with today's trivia of the day, which is this question here. Which NFL team has never played in a Super Bowl? Pretty interesting here. Pretty interesting question, I think. Let's go ahead and check out the multiple choice options for you. Is it A, the Detroit Lions? Is it B, the Cleveland Browns? Is it C, the Houston Texans? Or is it D, all of the above? Very interesting. We don't get those that often, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Which NFL team has never played in a Super Bowl? Is it A, the Detroit Lions? Is it B, the Cleveland Browns? Or is it C, the Houston Texans? Or is it D, all of the above? Make sure you give your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we'll give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Again, appreciate all of you guys for playing along with trivia of the day. Appreciate all of you guys who are subscribed to the channel already. If you're not, make sure to do us a favor. Press that subscribe button before you head out. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron, and I'm out.